First of all, thanks for inviting me to here. It's really an honor for me to be here together with you. I'm having a great fun today here. And also, of course, I want to thank to our sponsors, okay, for their great support and efforts for making this event happen. First of all, let me briefly introduce myself to you. I'm Mehmet, coming from Turkey, Istanbul. I'm working as an agile coach and consultant for the last 10 years. And I co-founded a company called ACM, which is a leading agile training and consulting company in Turkey and its surrounding region. I'm also a Scrum.org professional Scrum trainer, and which means that I'm delivering certificated Scrum.org courses. What I and my company ACM doing basically is to help companies in their agile transformation journey. Till now, I had the chance to work with more than 25 companies, and I had the chance to work with more than 300 agile teams. I supported and coached them in their agile transformation journey. Today, I'm not going to talk about software development. So, if you want to leave now, you're free, please. You can leave, of course. But instead, what I'm going to talk about is soccer. Are there any soccer fans together with us in this room now? That's cool. I think you know these guys, right? Messi from Barcelona, Ronaldo from Real Madrid. And let me give you a brief historical data about these two teams. Real Madrid is the most valuable soccer team in the world with a value of around $3.5 billion, and they win the Spanish Premier League, which is so-called La Liga, for 32 times till 2014. On the other hand, Barcelona is the second most valuable soccer team in the world with a value of $3.2 billion, and they succeeded in the La Liga for 22 times. Here comes a question for you. Maybe you remember. If you don't know that, maybe you can just guess it. Who was the winner for the La Liga season 2013 and 2014? Any idea? Barcelona? Real? None of them, actually. The winner was Atletico Madrid. And a brief details about Atletico Madrid too. They are the seventh most valuable soccer team in the world with a value of $0.3 billion, and they only won La Liga for 9 times before 2014. So when you compare Barcelona, Real Madrid with Atletico Madrid, we can basically say that Barcelona and Real Madrid are about 10 times bigger, richer, more valuable than Atletico Madrid, and also they are significantly much more successful than Atletico Madrid. So what happened in that season, and how did Atletico Madrid achieve the championship? As all the authorities told in that year, actually it was teamwork. They believe in winning the championship that year. They put a great effort, they put a great teamwork, and at the end, they won the championship. Okay, why are we talking about that? Congratulations to Atletico Madrid, but what's it about? Why we're talking about people and teamwork? We are in software development business, right? Can't we just talk about a software development methodology or a process? Can't we just define just good enough process that will lead us to deliver successful software sustainably? I'm not sure about that question, but let's keep that question in mind and move on to another example. Okay, my second example comes from American football. I have no idea about American football, but I know the final match, which is called Super Bowl. Super Bowl is a huge, actually not huge, but a giant sports event. Takes place at the beginning of February each year in America, in States. It's one of the most watched TV event of the year with more than 100 millions of viewers all over the globe. So, of course, this big number attracts the super rich brands and they pay lots of millions of dollars to put their commercials on TV during the game. And when we check the numbers, for example, in 2013, the average cost of a 30 seconds commercial, TV commercial during the play was around $4 million. Huge money, huge market, right? In 2013, something unexpected had happened. During the first half of the game, first time in the history, the power went out for nearly half an hour. Everybody was in shock, you know? The game had stopped. People are waiting and looking forward what will happen. And during that shocking moments, actually one brand, actually they are also super rich brand, made a very smart move in the social media. That brand is Oreo, the cookie company from States. They posted this tweet, which says, power out, no problem, you can still dunk in the dark. And people love it. And this tweet post got more than 15,000 retweets in just a few minutes. So everybody was talking about the power outage and the Oreo Twitter and laughing on that. Even the day after, there were two things in the media. One was, of course, the power outage, and the other thing was, what did Oreo do last night? Because they didn't even pay $1 to do that, but they created a great awareness of their brand through just that smart move. So what I'm talking about that is, actually, no process or no tool can create such a success. That is why we need people, and that is why we need teamwork. As in the saying, it is not the powerful that eats the small, but the fast and the smart that eats others. So my topic is Agile DNA, so I'm trying to define agility actually. So as a result, I can start with this definition. For me, agility is to have a good team, which is fast and smart. But is that all? I don't think so. We need to put more on that. So let's continue with some other examples. Let's move into fashion industry and talk about Zara, the leading fast clothing brand in the world. In that industry, which is the apparel industry, the average delivery of new items to the market is 4 months, which means that in every 4 months, you can go and visit a store in the world, any store, and most probably you will find some new designed clothes. Okay, this is the industry average. And here's a question for you. What about Zara? How often do you think they deliver new products to its stores? Any idea? 3 weeks? What else? 2? Yeah, they're close. Actually, they're delivering every week, which means they're about 16 times faster than their average industry, their competitors. That means that every week you can visit any Zara store in the world and most probably you will find some new clothes. Okay, amazing, isn't it? Fast, really fast. What Zara is doing actually is experimenting the market and adapting accordingly. They are throwing out some new design to the market, then check the sales data about that new design and try to find some good selling new designs. If they could so, they go and tell this info to their designers so that the designers can work on that already good selling designs, improve them, evolve them, and send back new stuff to the market, which will most probably sell also good, right? So basically what they are doing is they're acting fast and adapting back to the customer request. Okay? I'm saying that they are really responsive, and let me give another example about that that will emphasize it, actually. After the 9/11 terrorist attack in New York, actually the clothes sales had dramatically decreased in the States market. But during that period, the sales of Zara had increased. How come? It's really interesting because they foresee that because of that terrorist attack, okay, people will get more upset, and they will stop buying new clothes, but they will need some maybe black and dark colored new clothes. Okay, so they focus all their power for producing a new line of dark colored and black clothes. And just 1 week after the attack, they changed their all colorful outfits with the black and dark colored new line. People went to the stores, asked for dark colored shirts, pants, and most of the brands ran out of stock. But then they come and buy that stuff from Zara because Zara was prepared about that. So it is about all being responsive. In the first example of Oreo, we said that it is important to act smartly, but now we are also adding up that it's important to be responsive. As Darwin already said, it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent. Yes, we need that, but actually it is the one most responsive to change. So for me, agility is to be responsive, besides having a good teamwork. Okay? And it's not the end. Let's keep moving with another example. Do you remember these old days? These old good days, actually. Old film cameras, right? We said goodbye to them at the mid of 2000s with the digital revolution. And before that digital revolution, we have that two giant brands, companies, throughout 80s and 90s. Do you remember these? One, Kodak, which was the market leader in that industry, and it's an American company, and its competitor, Fujifilm, from Japan. What had happened to them with the digital revolution? Let me tell you briefly. Actually, Kodak is doing really bad. A few years ago, they declared bankruptcy. That bad. Besides Kodak, Fujifilm is doing really great, and they're growing. They keep growing. How come? What happened to these two companies? Actually, in the 80s, they both realized that the digital revolution is coming in the near future. Actually, the inventor of the digital camera was Kodak itself. But they chose to act on that differently. They focused on different strategies. Kodak's strategy was to push hard and play hard on that digital cameras. So, as a result of that strategy, at the beginning of 2000s, they succeeded. But the unexpected had happened during the 2000s, the mid of 2000s. There took another revolution. Did you know which was that? Or can you guess? Sorry? Smartphones, actually, yeah. And with the revolution of the smartphones, people stopped buying digital cameras. Why? Because we have it in our phones already. So that revolution, smartphones, hit Kodak really badly. But on the other hand, Fujifilm somehow forecasted a risk about that digital revolution end. So they focused to create new industries, new brands in new industries, okay? And as a result, they created lots of brands, and they created one really successful brand in one of these industries in the middle of 2000s. And this is a question for you. Which one do you think Fujifilm created a very powerful, successful new brand? Textile, mobile, cosmetics? Huh? Mobile, what else? Surprisingly, cosmetics. Yeah. It's an interesting case, actually. At the beginning of 2000s, they discovered that the structure of the thin camera film is so similar with the structure of human skin. And also they discovered that the antioxidation mechanism that they use to protect their films can be modified into an anti-aging cream. Okay? And they launched the brand Astalift, which is very powerful, especially in the Far Eastern market now. Ah?
Is that what you use?
No.
Yeah.
Fortnite, yeah. I will use. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it is okay to be responsive, but more on that, you need to be innovative. You need to lead change. This is how I understand agility. Okay? Not just be responsive, but create the change. Okay, we talk about being a good team. We talk about frequent delivery. We talk about being responsive and also being innovative. But what for? Okay? What the business is there for? I think this is a very good answer from Peter Drucker. And it says that the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. So do you think that our customers will care how fast we are, how smart we are, how innovative we are? I don't think so. They will just change the brand, go to other competitors. But the problem is that we need to care about them, okay, to keep them with us. This is for you. Do you really care? Do we really care our customers? I think it's a buzzword. Everyone, every company, every brand is saying that, yeah, of course, customers are so important for us. But mostly we are pretending to do that, but not really doing it. Here's an example from my country. This is a teller, okay? You go to him to handle some transactions. It doesn't matter which company or business it is for. And there's a window between you and the teller. And in the window, there is a warning which says that, don't talk to me. Come on, bud. I'm here to solve some problem, and you're saying that, shh, shh, don't talk. I think it should be say that, please talk to me. Okay, if it is carrying me. But I think it's mostly carrying themselves and their processes, not me. Okay? If we're talking about customer care, I think we need to mention Zappos.com. Do you know that company? It's an online shoe company, American one. It's a huge one. Actually, it has been acquired by Amazon.com in 2009 for more than billions of dollars. I'm not sure with the number, but it's a huge one. And they're mostly popular with their customer care philosophy. They are focusing on superior service experience, which they call their WOW philosophy. Okay? There are thousands of examples how they apply it in the internet, but I will just give a little example how they see customer care in their culture. For example, the call center issue. For most of the companies, call center is a cost center, right? They try to decrease the average call time, average handling call time, and so decrease their costs. But it is very different when we talk about Zappos.com. They see call center as an opportunity to create some relationship with their customers, not as a cost. That's why they don't use common tailor-made call center sentences, which are cold, and they don't have a target to diminish the average handling time. Instead, they empower their call center employees to talk more and more with their customers, and that's why they have a record. They have a record phone call for 10 hours and a half. Can you imagine that? You're calling a call center and talking for more than 10 hours? It's real. And there are lots of stories about Zappos.com in that manner. So, for me, agility is to focus on customer delight also. To sum up, let's define what is agility. Agility is creating a good teamwork, yes, being fast and adaptive, and also leading to change by innovation. And it is to deliver customer delight. Okay? This is my definition of agility. So, now we can move on how to achieve that. Here's a little assessment that you can use in your teams, in your organizations later on. You can ask these questions to your team or in your organization and see your level of agility, okay? These questions may give you some evidence that you can work on to improve your agility, okay? I will pass that, but we defined the agility, but now the question is how to achieve that, right? It's easy, actually. Just create good teams, like we had in Atletico Madrid. Be like Oreo, be like Fujifilm, be like Zara, be like Zappos. Any questions? Easy, right? Just the receipt. You can take photo. Okay. Of course, this is not the answer. We need to still ask the question how. And the real answer is this, actually. It is your people. You need to focus on your people. Agility is all about people and teamwork. It's a mindset and it's a culture, okay? Yes, cool. What does it mean? Let's try to explain it. Focus on the people. Actually, as Aristotle said, pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. And now, we have a proof about that saying. This graph shows the stock market returns for the Fortune 100 best companies to work for and Standard & Poor's 500 giant companies. And as you can see from the graph, the best companies to work for nearly performs 3 times better than the other giant firms. So that's true that if we can put pleasure in the work, we will succeed, okay? Okay, how? Maybe like this. It may work, huh? Do you work like that in here? It's a common skin from Turkey. Okay. This may work, of course, but I think we need to find a better sustainable solution. In order to do that, we need to ask another question, I think. Because creating a pleasure in the job is more related with motivation for me. So the question should be, what motivates people? What motivates you? An answer? What motivates you? Oh, okay. It always. What else? Just money? Nothing? Nothing motivates you? Challenges? Okay. Now I want to share you a result of a survey which was conducted with the knowledge workers like us, software people. They asked in the survey to prioritize the motivational factors from 1 to 10, okay? And this is the result. What comes at the end? Money. It doesn't mean that we don't like money, we don't want money. Actually, it means that we are okay if we think that we get paid fair enough, okay? If we get paid fair enough, then it's not the issue about money, but the issue is about the other stuff here. And let's focus on that 3 top high priority factors, which are achievement, the possibility of growth, and of course the work itself. Oops, okay, let's go with the achievement. When we say achievement, I understand about goals, targets, and purpose, actually. So, in order to create the motivation for achievement, first we need to set some purpose, some vision, some targets, right? But it should be changed in a new way. In the old way of management, how we put targets. You know, the managers set some targets, right? And they go and tell their people, employees, okay, these are your targets, go and apply them, okay? Like a command and control. But in order to create that motivation, we need to get the buy-in of people. We need to create that purpose, that vision, and that target all together as a team. This starts with stopping ourselves from micromanaging our people. So the managers should stop themselves, step back, and let their people decide on what they want. I'm talking about self-organization. Okay, this is the first step. We need to create self-organizing, autonomous teams in order to start with motivational factors, right? The second one, it's about learning, right? How we learn? We learn by trial and error mostly, okay? And I know most of companies punish directly or indirectly the failure. So we need to first start to stop punishing failure, but instead focusing on creating a failure-safe environment, failure-safe culture. We need to empower our people, and we need to emphasize them. Okay, go and try, and it's okay if you fail, because it will lead to a learning at the end. So this is the second thing that you need to do to create the motivational pleasure in the job, okay? Last one, this is the hardest one. Work itself. It means that I love my job. I don't know how many of you really loves the job they are in. Okay, few, cool. For my opinion, you cannot give people a job that they love, but you can go and hire some people who already loves what you're doing. Okay, it's about knowing what you do, putting a meaning in your work, and finding the same people who believes in the same value with you. It's hard. It's about passion, actually. And in here, I want you to think about this question. Maybe it will trigger some stuff in your mind. Have you ever heard about a painter that quits the work at 5 p.m. and blames about his job every day? No? Maybe we should change something in the 2015's economy, right? Okay, to sum up, the formula, the secret formula is to focus on people by creating a common vision all together, okay? Not dictating, creating a learning by failing, by try and fail, and finding the meaning of what we do and finding a job that we can love. Okay? I know it is hard because it is a multi-level transformation actually. It starts in processes, then it continues with the infrastructure of your organization. It is mostly the organization structure you have, okay? But it needs to continue with the culture level. You need to work on all of these three levels at the same time. What can you do is, you can start to work on the process level. You can start to create a few self-organized teams like Scrum teams, Kanban teams, whatever. And you can focus on growing them. If you grow enough number of teams, then maybe you will be able to change the organizational structure into a network structure, from functional hierarchical structure to a network-like structure. So that will put you in here. But also, you need to go bottom up, and as a whole company or as a whole team, you need to work on the values and behaviors of your workplace, okay? Here, I'm talking about decentralizing the decision-making process. I'm talking about the new management style, okay? Which is value-based management system that empowers people for decision-making. Okay? And we are talking about values in here. So what are the agile values? I will not go with them, but you need to first ask yourself, your team, your company, are you okay with them? Maybe you're not. So it will be really hard for you to transform the company culture. Actually, you need to internalize them. It means that it is not just enough to declare these values on the walls or on the papers, on the documents, but you need to live like that. You need to be your values. Like the Southwest example. SouthWest Airlines is one of the biggest airlines in the world, as far as I know. They're so successful, and they have a motto in their culture which says that fun-loving attitude. They say that we enjoy everything we do daily in our work. And this is a very usual picture from one of their flights. The cabin crew is playing toilet paper race with the passengers. They're having altogether fun. They live with it. Okay? Actually, I need to emphasize that you cannot change the culture. Culture is what it is. Okay? You can work on your values, define them, emphasize them, and you can also work on daily practices, routines, and behaviors you have. By working on these two, it may be possible for you to affect your culture as a side effect. Let me give an example for you. Let's think that we have a company which is culture is based on collaboration and cultivation, okay? And let's think that in that example, that company has values of respect to each other, team does matter, not individuals, and we enjoy the work. And these values creates the collaborative culture actually. That's cool till now. But let's inject a bug in a behavior practice level. Think that this company having annual individual performance evaluation practices in the company, okay? But individual performance evaluation. This practice, this behavior will tell your people that you really does not matter about the team, but you matter more about the people, about the individuals. And this will create a culture of individualism, not a collaboration. So, one small error in your practice and behavior can change all the culture model that you have in your company, that you want to have in your company. That's why you need to start from here. You need to emphasize, find your values, define them, and find some practices that will make them be alive in the daily routine of your job. Then you may change the culture into an agile one. Okay, so basically I'm saying that it's all about people, mindset, and culture, and that's why it's hard, actually. Think about a big, clumsy organization. It is to say that forget all about your old habits and put new habits into your organization. It is something to say like to make a pea hater kit to eat peas. Try to change that much big company. How can you do that? How can you make a pea hater kit to eat, to like peas actually? Would you like to go for one of these choices?
Say he's not allowed to eat them.
Another one. What else? This may all work actually, but in 1960s, Bert found one thing that worked predictably. It's peer pressure. She put a pea hater kid at a table with several other kids who likes eating peas. And she discovered that within a 1 or 2 meal, that pea hater kid started to try eating peas. And after several times, that P-hater kid started to turn into a P-liker kid. Huh? Why I'm telling about that is, it's hard. We're talking about the culture transformation, but just start small, and you will see that the others will follow you. Okay? And that's all for my part. I think we have some time, and I can answer questions if you have. Oh, no, we don't? Okay. Yeah, thank you. Wow, nice one. Thank you. Any questions so far? All okay? Yeah, please. Sorry? Yeah, I will send the slides, yeah. It's also in the slide share, but I will send it to the organizers also. Yeah. So thank you.